And we're live. Hello and welcome to Women's Speakers Association's WSA TV Women Premiere Show. I'm Laura Rubenstein, your host and producer, and we're talking about optimizing your physical and business well-being today. Your well-being matters for the health of your business, the health of your body, and busy entrepreneurs and professionals often lose sight of the things that optimize their well-being in both their business and their health. And today's experts, I'm super excited to introduce you to, are going to walk you through their best advice to avoid crisis and to thrive in your life, your health, and your business. So let's say hi to them. Hi, Erin.
Hi there, Laura. I am Erin Price. I'm a registered massage therapist. You can find me at mastectomyguide.com, and I'm here from beautiful British Columbia, Canada.
I'm so glad to have you. Thanks, Erin. And
Thank you.
Donna. Hi, Donna.
Hi, I'm Donna Duffy. I'm a marketing and visibility strategist. You can find me online at sagesuccessstudio.com, and I'm in Wilmington, Delaware.
Well, ladies, you are the experts in thriving, creating an optimized life and business. So let's jump right into it. I wanted to ask you for your best advice that you could give our viewers about how to strengthen and optimize. And Erin, I want to start with you. And since you're in the massage field, we're talking about their physical well-being because you need that good physical health and wellness to go into your business.
Yeah, absolutely. If you don't have your health, you know how much your life grinds to a halt. So one question that I get quite a lot is, if I won the lottery, would I get a massage every day? So I'm going to ask you that. If you won the lottery, do you think you'd get a massage every day? And if the answer is yes, I'm going to say there's a really easy way that you can get a massage every day, which is to do it yourself. And it really doesn't have to be complicated. And what it does is it connects in your mind and your body, helps to take you down many notches in stress and anxiety, feeling overwhelmed. If you're feeling brain fog, you're feeling like things are just needing a reset, then you can do some self-massage, which is really simple. And I'm going to give you a little tool today that you can take away. It's to do self-massage on your hands. Now, why the hands are useful? Because in reflexology, you have a map of your whole body on your hands, and we carry a ton of stress in our hands. And you'll notice if people are really stressed, their hands are often clenched, they're stiff, and they can carry a lot of pain. So a really easy way to massage is if you take your thumb and you put it in the middle of your palm, and then you do circles in the middle of your hand. And what you'll notice almost immediately is this sort of loosening of tension throughout your body. You might notice it down your spine. You might all of a sudden notice your hips and your feet in a way that you didn't before, which is a very grounding activity. And you might start to feel your mind just kind of slow down if it's hyper fast. A lot of people have that kind of hamster wheel going on up there. And just this really simple massage in the center of your palm is a super easy and very discreet way of calming yourself down in a moment if you're feeling overwhelmed. And another really easy one, if you're feeling brain fog and it's hard to concentrate, you take the tips of your fingers and then you do this little massage with the tips of your fingers. And why that's important is in reflexology, the tips of your fingers correlate with your brain. So if you do a little bit of stimulation to your brain this way, if you're feeling very sluggish, foggy, can't really concentrate, this kind of gentle stimulation just helps to wake up the neurons in your brain and the energy in your brain. And it's just very rejuvenating. So self-massage is kind of a newer thing, but it's useful for sure.
Wow. And those are two self-massage techniques that one wouldn't naturally think of to do. So Thank you for them for centering ourselves, getting back into our bodies and optimizing our physical well-being so that, Donna, we can go to optimizing our business and being sharp. And what should people know? What advice would you like to give entrepreneurs, professionals to optimize their best business?
Well, I think a big part of it is really just staying true to ourselves and staying in alignment with the gifts that we're given in our zone of genius and doing the things that really light us up. There's a lot of stuff going on out there and we can get pulled in many directions. I think it heightens stress and anxiety and FOMO and all the kinds of things that may pull us in a totally different direction than the thing that is most aligned. So I always encourage my community to stay in wholehearted alignment for their life and their work. And so, a lot of that comes from doing what you love and loving who you do it for. I'm sure as business owners, we can all remember a client or two who we've taken that probably was out of alignment, or work that we said yes to that we probably should have outsourced or referred elsewhere, but we took it on ourselves. And so this, loving what you do and loving who you do it for kind of is a course correction back to alignment over and over again. So I often say, tie your why to your tribe. And what I mean by that, we can have an internal why and an intrinsic why, and that's wonderful. But the work we do, if we make sure that we're serving others, we make the connection between the work we do and the tribe we're serving, it will also keep us on track. And so we won't go off on these bunny trails and take projects and work that really are not in alignment with ourselves or the tribe we're trying to serve. So the message I often give is go an inch wide and a mile deep. And that allows me to. Often we are a mile wide and an inch deep. We're dissipated all over the place. Our energy is all over the place. But when we go an inch wide, we kind of pull that energy into us and then drill down. And it helps us to cultivate relationships and build those well. That comes back to us over and over again, rather than the one-off sale. For that currency, we're building that social currency, tribe, and community. And that just is a win-win. For well-being, that is a win-win for us as we stay true to ourselves. And then we're doing what is best serving our clients, the solution and transformative solution we can bring, not trying to be a square peg in a round hole, but really being in 100% alignment to ourselves. It's an ongoing process and practice, but I think it certainly helps us with our well-being.
Could you give us like a tangible example of who this would apply to and how?
Well, I think sometimes we may take something, so I'll come back to myself as, just with marketing. If there is something where someone says, oh, I need help with SEO, I'm long past the time where I'd be absolutely, and then, try to figure that out. That's not my strength. I will absolutely now outsource that, refer that out. I'm not lost at all. In fact, I get to stay in my zone of genius and shine for my client the way I'm meant to. And then it really shows my own confidence. If I can outsource that work and not try to be all things to all people, but really stay true to myself, I'm going to serve my client better and I'm going to feel better all day long.
And the stress is going to go way down.
Out the window, absolutely.
Out the window. We got the FOMO out the window, and the JOMO. We got the JOMO, the joy of missing.
JOMO, absolutely.
That's great. Well, you two are very much experts, and I want to understand a little bit more about who you work with and what you love doing for them. Like Donna, you said, right? And you've got to know. So, Erin, why don't we go with you and tell us who you work with?
Yeah, thank you, Laura. So and thanks, Donna. That was full of really interesting information in there.
Thank you.
So as a massage therapist, I started out with a general practice, just treating, office workers, lay people, athletes, and I was getting burnt out. It was really hard for me to continue doing what I was doing. It was physically unsustainable. It was mentally not full of meaning. And then I had my first mastectomy patient come in the door, and she had no breasts. She had no reconstruction. She had just scars across her chest. And for me, that was such an absolute game changer. It actually changed my life, seeing her and being able to witness what her experience was like and her journey. And she was telling me how few resources there were out there for women recovering from mastectomy surgery. And then I had my second mastectomy patient in, and during that lady, she was saying almost exactly the same thing as my first, and almost the same tone of voice too, which is that there's just nothing out there. I don't know what to do, and I'm trying to help myself, and I don't know how to navigate this. And I had a genuine epiphany. I had lights going off in my head, this ding, ding, ding going on. And it was really impactful. And I absolutely knew in my bones, this is a gap in the world that we have to try and fill, because hundreds of thousands of women every year are getting diagnosed with breast cancer, almost 500,000 women between North America, the UK, and Australasia. And getting breast surgery as a part of that is one of the major ways of dealing with breast cancer. So there are like 450,000 women diagnosed last year, and then most of them are left to their own devices. And as a healer, I need to help step in and support women and alleviate suffering in the world. And women are suffering in a way that they don't need to be suffering because they just don't have knowledge about what they can do. And so I created this online program as an extension of my massage therapy practice so that women knew how to take care of themselves. Self-massage is one of the ways that they can learn how to take care of themselves, to manage scar tissue, to manage lymphedema, to reconnect them to their new body, because it's very different and often it feels like somebody else's body. And then I'm also going a step farther now in treating massage or teaching other massage therapists how to work with the breast cancer demographic, because that same gap that's present for the women is present for the therapists. And so at the moment, therapists are having to figure out how to treat these women without real training. And so I'm filling in that gap. So Donna, one of the things I loved about what you were saying about your work is matching up your passion with your tribe and bringing them together, because that makes it sustainable. And so that's what's happening with the mastectomy guide. We're bridging the gap between helping women, which is a complete passion of mine, empowering women, and then having women find the resources they need, whether that they're professionals or they're lay people. And so we're bringing everybody together and creating a tribe of heart-centered people focused on health, focused on helping others, and helping to elevate people in the world. So that's the mastectomy guide, and that's how I got into it.
Wonderful. And that's perfect. You're like the perfect example of what Donna says to do. And I love that you brought that up. So Donna, tell us more about how you work and who you work with and what you do for them.
So I work with midlife women, entrepreneurs and leaders who are difference makers and movers and shakers. They are change agents. They know their entrepreneurship is a way to change the world. And I think especially at midlife, we become incredibly aware of time and really using it well and showing up with our gifts and our strengths and all the things that I shared earlier. So that became my primary target. And the way I do that is help women really zero in on their signature body of work so that they're not all over the place. They show up and this is what they're known for. This is how they shine. This is what lights them up. And it's magnetizing because they're very, very sure the clarity is there. They know how they're supposed to show up. They know who they're supposed to serve. And it allows us to say no to all those other things that aren't there. And then I help them align with their ideal tribe and their best authority platforms to bring that work out there. So I help them to showcase their expertise for greater visibility so they can begin to attract their tribe around them and serve them with their best work.
That's brilliant. And how did you come to this work?
Well, for me, I own a marketing agency, which was a full-blown agency several years ago. It was very downsized now. But I wrote a book in 2015 called Embracing Autumn, a motivational field guide for midlife women entrepreneurs. And that started a shift for me. And as I started to look in the audience of all the women who attended my monthly events, all the people that attended my monthly events, the majority of the people in the room, don't know why I didn't put this together, and it took me so long to connect the dots on this, but they were midlife women entrepreneurs. And they were like me. They wanted to do something very significant at this stage of their life. And so I really started to zero in, and it was very scary at first to niche down and to really just say, you know what, I'm going to target midlife women who really want to do this. So it pulls that segment in, but we are everywhere. We're all over the place. Midlife women are really doing some tremendous things. And so it's been my great honor to work with them, to help them to come into the alignment I shared earlier, and to be in the room. You know, someone will ask me, well, what's a midlife, you know, who's a midlife woman? How do you, I said, well, if you have to ask, you're probably not a midlife woman. Like, we know who we are, but that becomes just a unifying factor in itself as you build a tribe, because there's that affinity and where we are at the stage and season of our lives. So that's how I got into that. Just really, you know, often we hear you are your best client. And so, you know, it's attracting other people like myself at this stage of life, this season and chapter of their lives, wanting to make a big difference through entrepreneurship.
Yeah. And, that's what we do here at Women Speakers Association. We attract difference makers and we showcase difference makers. So thank you both for being the difference maker you are. And I wanted to hear from each of you about what's the value that you've already received from being a part of this organization here at Women Speakers Association. Erin, can you chime in on that?
I absolutely can. So one of the things that struck me right away is the global connecting that I've been able to do with women. So I've had from both sides of the globe chances to connect with women and to have speaking opportunities like this. And I spoke with JJ Stenhouse a couple of times on her UK Health Radio show, and JJ Conway in one of her presentations or one of her summits. And so just meeting and connecting with other women who want to get their voice out there, who have a purpose and a passion for what they're doing and are looking to help uplift the world, I think is incredibly empowering and really beautiful. And so I'm appreciative of this opportunity. And then they also have the books, which they do, the collaborative books, which I think is also a great idea, because that's women coming together to put their voices together, again, to help elevate the world in some way. And women like to collaborate. That's one of the things that's so awesome about how women operate is we create societies, we collaborate, we help uplift each other ideally, and doing that, then we make the world a stronger place. So I also think the books are a great option.
And they really are. And I'm glad you used the word collaborative book, because that's really what it is. We've come together as a community to collaborate. We don't just do an anthology. We have a whole community, and it becomes like an event, a year-long event. And we're filling that book right now. So if anybody's interested, it's Voices of the 21st Century.com, where you can find out more information. So Donna, tell us from your perspective, you're one of the global business connectors who's actually a representative here at Women Speakers Association, really guiding women through the support they can receive here. What is the value of Women Speakers Association, and what has it been for you?
Thank you. Well, I think for me, there's a quote: behind every successful woman is a tribe of successful women who have her back. That is the epitome of Women Speakers Association. So I think this is a great way to model to other women. If I help you shine, I do not lose anything. We both then shine. We're better together than either one of us just on our own. And I see that modeled again and again. So for me, it's the connection, it's the collaboration, the visibility, the leverage, all of those things we spoke of. And then stepping into this new role as the global business connector for Delaware. Delaware's a rather small state, so many of us know one another. So as I wanted to step into greater global visibility, I thought, you know what? Rising tides float all boats. Let's do this so that we all rise up together. And it's been wonderful to just see different women in my community stepping in to Women Speakers Association as premier members, and then us supporting one another to take advantage of all of the amazing opportunities for leverage, visibility, connection, and collaboration that are here in this awesome organization. So I'm loving it.
Yeah, and we're loving that you're doing that. And for those who are interested in taking advantage of the events that are coming up with the Global Business Connectors, you can go to WSALive.com. But, if you want to do what Donna and Erin have done and join us as one of the members here at Women Speakers Association, you'll have access to everything we've been talking about. Simply go over to joinwsa.com and join us. And if at the very least, download our Speaker Success Plan, because that's a great place to start, and it's free. So thank you, ladies, for joining us. This has been a fabulous show for inspiring people to strengthen and optimize their well-being, both physically and in their business. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much. This was really enjoyable.